Hello everyone, and welcome to the seventh and last part of this mini-series where I smell the fragrances from Zoologist, and I will try to give you a sort of a recap of all the fragrances I've smelled. And I don't know how long this video will be. I will try to keep it as short as I can, but there are 25 fragrances that I smelled, and I will like to go through them maybe one more time to see how they changed. So half of them will have been from yesterday on their blotters, while the other half will be from this morning, and we'll see if any evolution has taken part. We'll see what happens if they still smell. Now the first one, I've got them in sort of an order, but not very, and some of them I will forget, so I'll have to check the notes again, because some of them might have changed drastically. So this one is Camel, and I remember really liking this fragrance, as it was a sort of dried fruit, very dry, oud, airy sort of blend. Now what you have here is a very sharp oud that's kind of barnyardy. There's a lot of fur in here, but it's still dry, and it's still very much lovely, only it did, well, of course it did lost a lot of its complexity of its wet stages, but it's still a very nice sort of, typically I think I might have likened this to Amouage's Epic Man at some point, not being terribly similar, but somewhere along the lines of a fresh oriental scent. Now let me just quickly look at the notes. Dried fruit, frankincense, palm date, rose. Yes, okay, so there is some jammy rose in this. Amber, cinnamon, cedar, jasmine, myrrh, orange blossom, civet musk, oud, sandalwood, tonka bean, vanilla, and vetiver. I think it remains a pretty solid scent. So I think I like this quite a lot. Let me see. The next one is Beaver, and I remember not particularly being very, impressed by this one. And it is a beautiful scent. It's sort of turned into this woody vanilla. Woody vanilla aquatic scent that you might smell something very reminiscent of the 90s perfumery. Quite nice. Still, I don't know if it was done by Chris Bartlett. I don't know if it inspires me all that much. The next one is the Queen Bee, of course, which I very much loved. And it is stunning. It lost absolutely nothing a day after on the blotter. It's still the same rich, claustrophobic, I might add, floral honey. And it is amazing. This one goes right up there. I mean, I do love this quite a lot. And for good reason. Okay, now there's Mr. Bat. Let's see how you've changed. Mr. Bat is vaguely pleasant, vaguely musky. I think I've asked 100 times if there's patchouli in this. I don't think there is. However, I do sense a sort of a patchouli type of smell. But there's not much else going on. I think it lost all of its qualities that made it interesting. All the coldness, all the dampness, all the you know, the fruity aspects, all the moldy aspects, the earthy ones. I think all that's left is a musky sort of a jumble. It's not very inspiring, sadly. Mossy stones and teak wood. I guess. Sadly, I don't think it inspires me all that much. Now let's smell Mr. Chameleon again. I forgot this fragrance. I forgot what it was supposed to be. Oh, it's still going very strong. But it's very different from what I smelled. I don't remember this fragrance at all. I remember it being maybe fruity, because I think it still is fruity, vegetal. I don't remember. Let's see. Bergamot, lemon, ylang, mango, pink pepper, violet leaves, cashmere and clove, coconut, frangipani, jasmine. So there is still jasmine in this. There is floral, bit coconutty, just a bit. So there is still those aspects. Amber, musk, sapopanax, patchouli, sandalwood, vanilla, vetiver. Alright. Now, the next one really inspired me quite a lot. I really loved this fragrance because it was a most unusual, almost hyper-realistic smell of blackcurrant, a smell that I am very familiar with. I have them, I grow them here right in my garden, and I like them quite a lot. And it is still there, albeit much muskier. More, it's very musky. Now I did try this on the skin, and unfortunately on the skin it turned into a mess. It lost all of the blackcurrant notes, which are still here, maybe not as strong, and it turned into a typically, you know, masculine, sort of a wishy-washy fougere. But here I think it still goes strong, and I still like it. No, this wasn't the one with marigold. There was a fragrance that had marigold in it. I don't remember which one. There's a bitterness I really enjoyed to this fragrance. And this is still, I mean, this is still in my at least top 3. Now, the next one is, unfortunately, I don't have enough room for them, so I have to, you know, do this for each and every one. Chipmunk in the scout outfit. Now, chipmunk is very woody tonka vanillic. It has a very pleasant nutty dry down that I quite like, but it's so very faint. I mean, I don't know if you knew this about vanilla, but vanilla is I don't know how to say this. It's well, it's a woody scent, and notes of vanilla you can find in most woody essences out there. So there are vanilla vibes, if you will, and most wood scents. And I find this to be quite illustrative for this sort of thing, because it is a woody, nutty scent that has faint but present traces of vanilla, which of course aren't aren't mentioned. Of course they're not, but it is a beautiful scent. nevertheless. Now, seahorse. But haven't I gotten a bit fast to seahorse? Okay. Seahorse. This blotter is from this morning. It is very potent. It is still the sort of ambergris shower gel fragrance, which, sad to say, isn't all that interesting, but it is a very beautiful scent. Maybe not for a fragrance, maybe for a shower gel. But it's still very, very beautiful and very easy to like. And it's such a playful scent, and I do get salty, saltwater hints from this, which I do like. Now, the next fragrance is Civet, which, if I remember correctly, was a disappointing fragrance. It is interesting in its dry phases now. Very, very faint. I can almost detect it. I can barely detect it. It is very musky. It's quite floral. So I think the main idea of the fragrance I smelled yesterday is still present, is still here. Is it terribly interesting? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's quite my alley. I see myself wearing it. I just don't see myself spending money on this. Although it does have something quite alluring to it. That's for sure. Now, let me see the florals. Okay, so the florals were frangipani, carnation, heliotrope, tuberose, and ylang. And I think it's true. Especially the ylang, you can quite feel it. Now that I can focus on it, yes, it's there, it's creamy. There are hints of carnation as well. So all of the elements are there to, attract me, to get me going. But the result isn't, isn't maybe what I was expecting. And now we will go to Mrs. Nightingale from Tomo Inawa, a fragrance that I fell for. I loved it. It is so gorgeous. It's still woody, maybe hints of sour cherry in this, or definitely cherry. It's a woody cherry. It's very delicately floral, still rosy, a lot of violet in this, and still those lipsticky vibes. I think this will remain. Although I did wear it on the skin last night, and sadly it was quite fleeting on my skin. I don't know what the problem is. Maybe these fragrances, Dodo and Nightingale, don't agree with my skin, or my skin just drinks them up. But it was undetectable after a few hours, and this is such a shame. Mr. Panda, how are you today? Mr. Panda says hello. Oh, Mr. Panda has turned into Erba Pura. It's the exact same scent as Erba Pura from Zerjov. It's a good scent, but I do own Erba Pura, so I see no reason into going crazy over this. But for fans of this genre. So it's musky, herbal, fruity, very fresh, very playful. I do believe this is a very playful and joyous scent. It is vividly colored. It has vivid shades of turquoise, blue. You know, I'm definitely, I am inspired by Erba Pura when I'm describing this. Some greens and some milky whites, some yellows. Very vivid, Mr. Panda. I like you, but unfortunately, in some form or in some way or another, I kind of own you already. Now let's smell Mr. Rhinoceros, which was this boozy tobacco leather that I very much adored. And it is still going strong. You're going strong, Mr. Rhinoceros. It is very, very potent still. And it's the exact same scent from yesterday, which is amazing. I love that. It is still boozy, tobacco leaf, very dry. Although I think yesterday it was a bit more humid. It turned into this dried, sour tobacco leather. And I am dangerously falling in love with this one. I like this a lot better than I like Hyrax. But we'll get to Mr. Hyrax as well. I don't see... Okay, you're there. Found Mr. Hyrax. But now we're going to talk about Sloth. Now, Sloth, I remember Sloth as being very calming, very soothing. And it is just that. Sloth is an amazing fragrance. Very herbal, sweetish, camphorous. Quite, you know, I think this has some tea notes, because otherwise I cannot explain the soothiness. It has this calming effect on me. I love Sloth. Okay, let me just remind myself what this had. Okay, it was the chamomile and marigold, that bitter herbal quality to it. This was the marigold, and lavender and violet leaf and beeswax. I love this. This is very, very well done. I should make a note of this right now. Okay, now the next one will be Snowy Owl. This had the snowdrop, didn't it? Oh yes, a very cool, very cold white flower scent. Very, very beautiful. Very woody and quite mushroomy. I don't remember the notes for this one. So, snow accord, that's not helpful. Mint coconut, that's it. Coconutty. Quite exotic as a fragrance. White rose, mate, snowdrop, iris, frankincense, ambrette, cedar, oak moss, tonka, and vanilla. It didn't change all that much, but I do get the tonka, and I do get the iris. I mean, this is good. Have to make a note of this as well. I've been working on a list, which I will tell you about this at the end. It's very difficult to decide between these fragrances, so I will have to put some of them on equal footing on the list there. Okay, so next we have Macaque. Very incensey. Very, very incensey. I like this. It's very incensey, spicy. It didn't change all that much. It had earlier, when I smelled it, it had that dry apple, very fruity, very sweet phase. but now it's just a sweet, fruity incense that's very, very good. Very interesting. And it's church incense. The dry down is fabulous on this one. Oh, I'm gonna have to alter the list a bit. I love this. So let's see. I'm gonna put you right there for now, because things might change when I smell the Yuzu edition, because it's only fitting that I smell both of them in succession. Oh yes, so the same church incense vibe. But that effervescent yuzu kind of died down, and what remained is a slightly citrusy incense. And when I say incense, I'm talking about pure olibanum. It is pure Catholic Mass, or Christian Mass. I love it. It's very familiar to me, and it is the type of fragrances that I do go for. This reminds me a lot of Cardinal from Healy. And when I get home, I will wear Cardinal by Healy because they are so interesting. Now, unfortunately, this is too similar to Cardinal, but the Apple edition I find to be a lot more interesting because of that dried fruit note that I can isolate now when smelling them in succession. But they are very similar. So Macaque Full Apple Edition is my favorite. Okay, now the next one is Mr. Tyrannosaurus, who's been wreaking havoc. Oh my, Mr. T-Rex, you're very smooth now. Because when I first smelled it, I likened it to Patchouli 24 from Le Labo and Hiram Green, Hyde from Hiram Green. But now he is doing his own thing, which is very good. He's quite different. He is a very smoky leather, but a very smooth leather. A smooth, very resinous leather. I suspect some labdanum, or at least olibanum, is to blame, and it is still going quite strong, but it's very incensey, this one, which I do like. So they cite incense here, I suspect olibanum, and they cite resins, I suspect labdanum. But the rest is quite there. It's a lot less smoky than it was, and that caramel vanilla sweetness it had in the opening is thankfully no longer there, or not as present. It's a lot drier. A very pleasant smell, this one. Okay, squid. It's my orange cat. Okay, squid, which is a sweeter, more floral, more bitter, still acqua di sale smell, but it did derive quite a bit from acqua di sale. It's quite dissimilar, although I think it's in the same family of scents. But it's more floral, a bit less salty, a bit less inky, while still being a marine scent. And I think what's happening is the ambergris is poking its head, kind of rounding it up, making it a bit more, into the realm of you know, shower gel fragrances. Not as shower jelly as Seahorse. I do prefer this quite a lot. It's still a beautiful scent. And it's still up there on my list. Mr. Squid. Okay, so I'm done over there. Now let's see. Elephant. Elephant. I don't remember if I liked Elephant or not. But I think I did, but I don't remember why. Don't remember what okay, so there was something Indian. It was the black tea smell. I don't remember. But beautiful scent. Coconutty. Coconutty, white, milky. A bit bitter. Still present on that tea. But apart from that, I don't remember. So, tree leaves, Darjeeling tea, magnolia, cocoa, coconut milk, incense, jasmine, amber musks, patchouli, sandalwood. Did I put you on the list? You should be on the list. You should be on the list because you're gorgeous. And for the first time, I'm going to strike something from the list. Elephant. Dragonfly. I do remember liking this. This was the floral, very airy, fruity, rosy violet. Something very floral, berry notes, spring florals. Again, it's a milky kind of scent, milky musky, colorful. Let's see. Ginger rice. Yes, it was the rice one, but I don't know. Jasmine Oris Absolute. It's a beautiful scent, but I don't feel that it leaves just a powerful an impression on you as it's supposed to. And then we have Koala. Oh, such a beautiful soothing scent. Koala. Oh, the eucalyptus after rain. That's it. Eucalyptus, milky, fuzzy. Again with the black tea, this one. Incensey. This list is coming up quite nicely. Now we have Hummingbird, and this was just... Oh yes, there it is. Hummingbird is fantastic. It's a soapy, floral, fruity honey smell, and I already put it on the list. It's great. Love it. It's great. The notes were honeysuckle, honey lilac. It's got something. It's got a contrast in it. It's almost like almost like a chypre scent. When it's got this beautiful contrast between something very bitter, animalic, very strange smelling, and the thing I said before. It is a beautiful, beautiful scent. I think it's from that honey. It's a honey chypre. Love it. I think I love it a bit more than Nightingale. Yes. I might put you... Sorry, honey. Sorry, Nightingale. Now, Moth. Moth. My goodness. I'm going to have to change some things. Moth is spectacular. It still smells like mothballs, but it's that powdery, almost leathery heliotrope. It's just wow. Yes, you're in the right place. I might just bump you a bit. It's very difficult to choose because this is, as you might expect, this is based on my personal tastes and what I expect from in fragrances. So yeah, you know, it might not be the same for you. Now the next to last one is Musk Deer, which is, you know, gorgeous. Simply gorgeous musk deer. It's the way musk is supposed to be done, because it's also it's quite a woody musk, because it does have some Oris Absolute, and this is just amazing. It's right there on the spot. It's perfectly situated. And the last one is Hyrax, and it is just as beautiful as I remember it. It is dirty, fecal, interesting, alluring, dry. Oh my goodness, what a scent. I will have to do this right now. I will test this on the skin right now. I'm going to have to wear it. That gorgeous opening, boozy opening. So it is time to give you my you know, my choices. I have 9 places to award. On the first place you have Hyrax, of course, because this is a fragrance that I love and I might purchase, and Dodo. I find them to be the most interesting, and they speak to me the most from all of the fragrances. But you know, the first 3 positions are quite close in preferences, so it's very, very difficult. Now on second place I put Bee, which is that perfect honey, and Macaque Apple. I was not expecting to like Macaque Apple that much, but it's that perfect blend of incense and fruity notes. It's that perfect blend of zen, calming scent I truly, truly enjoy, and it is just perfection on second place. Now on third place I have Moth and Musk Deer, just because they are impossible not to like. I mean, to me, whenever there's a leathery musk with iris undertones, I mean, powdery heliotrope, oh, goodness, it's just so goody. Then on the fourth place I put Hummingbird, Nightingale, and Snowy Owl. They are, again, violet, cold, powdery fragrances that truly, truly stand out. On the fifth place I put Squid, because it's one of those perfect salty marine scents that I truly go for. And Squid is alone on fifth place, which is a first. Then on the sixth place I put Camel, as that dry, oriental, airy smell, and Sloth. They're not the same. When they're on the same place, it doesn't have to be that they're similar, but I like them in the same type of manner. So it would be very difficult to choose between camel and sloth because both of them are great fragrances. Number 7 is, and I wasn't expecting this, it's rhinoceros and T-Rex on the same position. First I put rhinoceros because I liked it a bit more, but the way T-Rex kind of transformed into this smooth incensey leather fragrance, I think it really deserves to be on the same place with rhinoceros. Then on number 8 is alone koala. I really liked koala. I really like this fragrance. It is just so good, and it is, I liked it, but it's instantly I forgot about it, and that's telling. But it's that, again, it's a soothing fragrance. I wanted to put it on the same position as sloth, because I feel they're kind of in the same ballpark. But it's that eucalyptus after rain that I truly like. And again, it's quite of a zen fragrance. Milky coconuts, my foot. Okay, and on the other, on the 9th place, elephant, which this one is the milky coconut. This one is the milky coconut. For the fragrances on the last positions, I don't think they're very, easy to remember. Definitely, the higher up you are on the list, the easier to remember you'll be. But this is quite telling. Now, this dry down, this is the milky coconut. So for everybody who's looking for anyone who's looking for a milky coconut fragrance, this is the one. So there you have it. This was my recap of all the Zoologist fragrances that I got in this official discovery set. What a journey it's been. So many fragrances that I smelled today. Right now my nose is shot dead. So, as a conclusion, I'm going to say again that I truly like the concept. The concept behind Zoologist speaks to me. It's a very playful, almost childlike joy whenever I'm smelling these fragrances. There's something very special, and I hate this brand because they are so collectible. And for a person such as myself, where I'm always in danger of starting, things to collect. I liked Francesca Bianchi fragrances. I got them all. I don't know. I mean, maybe at some point. Definitely, I think I will let you know. I will film if I ever purchase anything from this brand. I am dangerously close to purchasing Hyrax and Bee and maybe Dodo. I'm not sure. But I will let you know. So they are very collectible. They are good fragrances. And I will leave it at that, because there's this whole world that needs discovering, and I will let you roam around in this in the world of Zoologist fragrances, as they are very well done. And there's a lot of things to like and to challenge yourselves, because most of them are pretty challenging as far as fragrances go. And that's it. If you have any other questions regarding any of the fragrances I've talked about in this mini series, do let me know in the comments. And until next time, remember, fragrance creates memories, and may yours be happy.